Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the Rebirth server with Iron Phoenix, our Iron Man mode character, level 16, getting close to level 17. We have 184,000 influence. It's not going to be enough to buy a full set of Dios, but we can go ahead and buy a set of trainers. It'll take about 20 or 30,000 influence, and then we'll have some influence built up and ready to go for being able to maybe get a full set of Dios at 22. I don't think we'll be able to do SOs until 27. Now, I do say once we have SOs, and we're settled in for a couple of levels, I think at that point we're going to move up to +1. And remember the rule in Iron Man, we can never move it back down. So you need to be careful in the 20s because there are a lot of Circle of Thorns missions, and those guys are super hard for this character because of the massive smashing resistance in the spirits and the fact that they debuff your attacks. So they basically cut your attacks down so that you only hit half the time and you're only doing half damage. You're literally doing like quarter damage to them compared to somebody like a Clockwork, and it makes it much more difficult. And so it's going to be very hard because if you go back and watch Silver Phoenix, I was lowering the mission difficulty from +1 back down to +0 when I knew I was facing Circle of Thorns. So I'm going to be careful about going up to +1. We're definitely going to do that by level probably 30, assuming we have SOs. Ordinarily, I would do it around level 24. And I think that's about when I did it for Silver Phoenix in the non-Iron Man playthrough, but Silver Phoenix had a full set of SOs. So I had to see what happens, and Silver Phoenix I was also able to go back down to +0. So we don't want it to be too easy, but we also don't want to set ourselves up so that we're going to die, right? Just because it's too hard. So we're doing Jim Templar's story. Rumblings of the past. So first we got to find Fusionette. I do like Fusionette. She's annoying the way all NPCs are annoying, but she's kind of cute. And I do like how heroic she is, and she's doing all this. She gets herself into trouble because she's trying to help her friend. And I do like that. And I like her design. She's kind of cute. We got a full set of enhancements, or inspirations rather. I went ahead and purchased those at the hospital, right near Jim Templar. It's right across the street from him, basically, if you need to know where it is. So these guys are lost. And we don't have any trouble with them, we know. And weren't able to mez him, but doing some good damage to him. If I could hit, we'd be a lot better off. Gosh. Man, he took a pounding. Some of that is because of the misses. Because we missed with a couple of our big attacks. I'm going to pause this right here, guys. Well, not pause it, but I'm going to turn off the sound, the music. Because this is the bug in Fault Line. For whatever reason, once the Fault Line music starts, it doesn't stop. So let's see if we can miss the Swordsman. We did. Cool. That's what we want. And you can enhance the duration of that, and I just might at some point. I didn't with Silver Phoenix, but we might with this character. I'm going to start with this guy, because Focus Chi is up. What I was trying to do was hit him with my big 3 attacks, but we critted him anyway, and he didn't get a single shot off at me. As you can see, if I'm trying to wait for my martial attacks, I've still got to wait a little bit. So we don't have a closed attack chain. You can't with 4 powers in martial arts. As fast as it recharges, you can't have a full attack chain until you put an SO recharger on a couple of those powers. Or get quickness, and if you have super reflexes, and then that will definitely help. Because it's like putting a Dio on every single one of them. I don't know why I ran around instead of just jumping up at him. That was kind of dumb. You know what? Part of it is I got so used to not having combat jump for so long that sometimes I still slip back into that mode. Well, let's take a knee here and get our endurance back. So let's talk about how this character is performing. I think for a character who only has trainers, is on hardcore mode and has very little influence because we've only used the influence that we've directly earned in the game. I think this character's performing quite well. I've been very pleased with her. Now see, so that guy was around the corner and didn't see me, right? But he attacked me because he was chained to the other guy. Right? They're part of the same spawn. Oh. That almost killed me. Didn't have practice brawler on. That's that little bit of stun that they have. Small chance, but it sometimes can get you. So anyway, in terms of the performance of this character, I think she's doing quite well. I've been able to be reasonably aggressive while still taking care not to faceplant. Main problem with this character has been misstreaks, which is really not got anything to do with the performance of the character per se, but is more about just the random number generator. All right, we're gonna need to take a heal here. See if we can stun this guy. Yes. That'll save me a beating. Or at least some of the beating. Look at, always 2 misses when you miss. There's always another one. Either right after it or a blow later. You miss once, you're going to miss again sometime soon. Alright, there's a boss up there. Our endurance is low, so we're going to wait, and I'll pause it here and bring you back when we're ready to fight the boss. Alright folks, we are back. I'm trying to be very careful here just in case there are more mobs to aggro. Ah, you see there are some guys over there. Can I get them without aggroing? That's what I want. Without aggroing the boss. Yep. Down he comes. Wow. Didn't expect him to go down that fast. Alright, I'm going to pause it again here, guys, because I used that focus chi, and I want to be able to use it again on the boss. Ordinarily, I wouldn't wait, but again, this is Iron Man mode, so we want to make sure we have everything we've got. So I'll pause it here, and I'll bring you back in 1 minute. Alright, we are back. And we're ready to fight the Aberrant Eremite. We won't be able to stun him. But we can knock him back, and we can crit him. So this should be it for this guy. And we've leveled up. We are level 17, guys. Excellent. Now we're going to lead Fusion it out. We will be ambushed, I think. Come and Fuse. I like the name FusionNet too, that's cool. We have a lot of really cool names for heroes and villains in this game. Foreshadow, I love that. Mirror Spirit is awesome. We're going to go to her to get leveled up. FusionNet. Positron. Really cool. Lots of good hero and villain characters. Don't actually really like Lord Recluse. It just doesn't sound scary. He's a recluse spider? Like, what? I don't know. Definitely not intimidating. Alright, so let's go back to Jake Tembler. And then we will go talk to Mirror Spirit. And then we're going to need to work on our enhancements because we're level 17 now. Introduced to Maggie Green. And we'll talk to him about the store. There we go. Alright, so let's go to Mirror Spirit. One of my favorite NPCs. I really like her design. It's very cool. And we will level up. There's another plaque. Sooner or later I'll hit enough plaques that I'll get a badge for one of them. New level of power. Right, so we want to finish focus fighting. And we want to add a slot to focus chi. And now it's possible to get some new enhancements. And the question is... So one of the things that one of my friends used to do is instead of doing it on 17, on the 2s and the 7s, he would do it on the 3s and the 8s. So what he would do is he'd wait till level 18, buy the set of enhancements, and then add them so they'd be +1. And so now they're going to be good for an extra level. So instead of a level 15 one going bad at 18, it would go to 19, right? Instead of a level 21s starting to go bad at 21 or 22, they'd last till 23 and so on because they were level 18 enhancements. Right, so like this one's a level 18 enhancement, it's still green to us. So he would wait until level 18 and then get the level 20s, right? And add them to these, and that would make them a level 21 enhancement, right? So, I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You're either going to have to go an extra level at level 17 with everything being yellow, or you're going to have to go an extra level at like level 21 and 22 with everything being yellow. But I think right now we're going to just continue, and I'll worry about doing the enhancements in between episodes. So FusionNet got into trouble again. Go help her. Yeah, she gets into trouble a lot. But she's doing it because she's trying to help her friend. She's trying to help Tembler. Boyfriend, I guess. And you do see these guys again in the 40s. I think I got some Silver Phoenix games with playthroughs with that. Oh, wow, she's right at the beginning. Or no, this is the Arachnos guy. Right, and then he's going to help us. Alright, so we're going to only use one set of these things because there may be another boss. Tried to shift so I didn't knock him down. Okay, there we go. And now Sans is going to help us. Now we need to find FusionNet and defeat Curse. I love these guys with TVs on their heads. They're so funny. And of course, it's old school TVs. You won't even find these in junkyards anymore, I don't think. Well, maybe in junkyards, but it's going to be hard to find them because they don't make TVs like that anymore with the aerial antennas on top. Everybody's just got cable or internet service now. I'm gonna let Sands deal with the headman. I don't really care if he lives or dies. I mean, I guess it's helpful if he lives when we go after the boss. He's only got one drone? I thought he had 2 drones. Maybe the headman killed it. He's good for, what do you call it, soak, right? He can soak some hits. Right, he does immobilizes to them and stuff, which is good. Does a little bit of damage. But more it's useful that he's aggroing them. Right, so that I don't take as many hits. He does have 2 drones, okay. I guess he had to resummon one of them. He's kind of like a mastermind. Fusionette, where are you? Jake sent us to save you. Yeah, Sans is doing pretty well. Gonna come down the elevator with me, buddy? Up the elevator. So who's talking? Oh, there's Fusionette. Iron's Phoenix, I see a friendly face. Okay. I'm gonna hold off on Focus Chi until we get to Fusionette, because I think she's protected by a boss. This guy's by himself? Seriously? Oh no, there's a headman right there. Good deal. Not sure where she is. There she is. Oh, his little guy's exploded? Well, that's pretty bad, Arbiter. It's going to be almost impossible to pull these guys, but we'll try. There we go. Try to keep this guy here. There we go. Excellent. Alright, come here, Arbiter. Let's go, Sans. Gosh, +1 boss. We've got to go straight in, because Arbiter Sans is going to aggro him. Make sure Practice Brawler's on. We're lucky the other guys did not aggro to us. And now Fusionette will be here to help us too. And I'm sure these guys are going to aggro, so let's just go get them. Yeah, so now we've got a lot of firepower. This is a setting in which I would love to have Warriors Challenge. just so that just so that I could pull things off of them more easily. And we have an awesome set of inspirations, guys. I think Curse might be an elite boss. He's either a boss or an elite boss. I think he might be an elite boss. We could not ask for a better set of inspirations to face him. Don't know where he is. Ah, that looks like him over there. There he is, and he is in fact an elite boss. Who else is around? Ah, you see, there's a guy right there. Let's see if we can pull him. Come on. Is Curse coming? Oh, he's coming. All right. Quick practice brawler. There we go. He's short. I didn't realize how tiny he was. Got him. Excellent. Man, we're halfway through level 17 already. Good deal. Yeah, so it definitely helped to have those guys with me this time. Jake thanks us. Nocturne Night Widow, it sounds pretty tough, so we gotta fight Nocturne now. Stop her escape. What time is it? Alright, so we'll do this, and then we will stop, but we've got to have the right inspirations, so we're going to run over to the hospital, which is right here, and grab the proper inspirations, and then we'll just teleport to the mission door. And then it's time for me to have lunch. Alright, so, what do we want? We want definitely double Lux. Want that heal, insight, and enrage. I think we're going with this. This is a pretty good setup. You know what? I think I'm going to go for one extra luck on this, just because she's pretty tough. Okay, so let's teleport to the mission door. Come on. And then we will defeat Nocturne. In we go. Alright, so we need to go down the sewers as far down as we can. We don't actually have to beat any of these guys. We just have to stop Nocturne and then destroy the submarine that she was going to take. So we're going to just beeline this. Right? We don't need to go down the wings and hunt guys on the sides. We're just going to keep going straight. Let's get this guy. Oh, that's a... Is that a boss? That's a boss. Okay. We're going to actually have to use a little bit of this. It's alright. make sure to put on Practice Brawler against these guys because they're mental. Right, they do like psionics and stuff. It's amazing how much our endurance dies from Practice Brawler. I really hate this toggle. I much would rather it be a click power. Now, some of the endurance is that, you know, the Muse do drain your endurance. But Practice Brawler also absolutely kills your endurance with this toggle. This toggle is very expensive. Base of 23 endurance a second. Oh, no, wait. That's not the base. That's what it's doing right now. We have it on a reduction. So the base is... No, it is 23. No, 26 endurance. 0.26 endurance a second. That is a lot. I mean, I know it's a good power. It's a good toggle. But... it's absolutely brutal to have it doing that. So if you think about, okay, the old Practice Brawler, it took, I think, 10 endurance in one shot. So in the middle of a battle, it could hurt. But it then lasted for 2 minutes, right? So that's 10 endurance over 2 minutes, right? Which is only 5 endurance in a minute, which amounts to like 5/60ths, right? Like 1/12 of an endurance, so less than 0.1 endurance a second. So this is a much more massive endurance cost. It's like 10 times more expensive. No. 3 times more expensive when you factor it out across the entire playtime of the character, right? Because this thing in 10 seconds is doing 2.6 endurance, right? Which means in a minute it's doing 10 endurance, 12 endurance, something like that. So it's doing like 24 endurance in 2 minutes, which is just insane compared to the 10 endurance in 2 minutes that Practice Brawler took when it was a click power. So it's like 2.5 times more expensive in terms of endurance. Now we are using more endurance because we're using Cobra Strike and we're attacking more frequently. But I still feel like Practice Brawler was much better as a click power. Take that off. I know there were more guys in the spawn, but our goal is not to fight every Arachnos in the sewer. It's to stop Nocturne. And realistically, this mission should be on a timer. And like if I were the game master setting this up, the mission would be on a timer. And if you took too long fighting every enemy in the spawn, every spawn in the game, in the mission, right? That's not your goal, right? Your goal is not to defeat every guy in here. It's to stop Nocturne. And if you take too long fighting these guys, she's gonna get away, right? So if I were a game master setting this up, I would set it up so that if the players actually stop to fight every single guy and clean out the dungeon, right, she will get away. But the main reason I'm doing this is we're already about half an hour and we don't need to actually fight all those guys, so let's just keep going. that was a misclick. I meant to hit this. Now these guys I make sure to clean out, because if she runs around, there are some archvillains that do that, or elite bosses. If she runs around, I don't think she does, but if she runs around, I don't want her aggroing them. Okay, we need to rest here, because we're out of endurance. And that's even without practice brawler running. Yeah, this level the character just cannot do Scrapperlock running from spawn to spawn to spawn and pounding. You know, just does not have enough endurance to do that. And of course the Nemesis staff takes quite a bit of endurance too. That's one of the ways they balanced it. This guy first. So Nocturne is over there. She's got one guy with her. So we're going to fight these guys, and then we will rest up enough. Can't do rest, but we will wait enough to have all of our endurance recovered. Oh, come on. This one guy is taking forever to take down because of all the misses. And of course the endurance training of the Muse does not help. Okay, so I'm going to pause it here, and I will bring you guys back when we're ready to fight Nocturne. Alright folks, we are back. I would like to have one more luck and one less heal, just because I like being able to dodge things, but you don't really have a choice on that. So we're going to go with all of our big enhancements, our inspirations, and just hope. Alright, so 1, 2, 5. In we go. And I'm just going to pound her, and I'm going to ignore the minion because she's so dangerous. And he won't be able to hit me. He's almost floored with me having 42 defense. Got her. Not bad at all, guys. She teleported away. Come on. There we go. Now we just have to attack the sub. It's just so dumb that you're punching a sub. It really should just be like a glowy you click onto sabotage it or capture it. You click on a radio and then a bunch of longbow come in and capture the sub or something. The idea that you're like beating up a sub with your martial kick is really kind of dumb. And we are done. We get our rewards from Jake. And now he introduces us to Penelope Inn. And I think that's where we're going to stop here, guys. So let's head on out and then we'll converse a little bit. So we completed the first story arc of Fault Line, and our next story arc is going to be Penelope Inn. We've got our donut badge, which we got in the last episode, and we completed Jake Templar's story. We're 2/3 of the way to level 18, and in between episodes I will do some selling of these things, and that's going to get us some nice Hey, yeah, it's going to get us some nice influence. And there is a natural damage enhancer. Well, I like that. So we have a level 17 damage enhancer that's a DO. And we got a couple other natural endurance reduction. Well, so we can, that'll help us. And then this is just range, so we don't care about that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'll play around with enhancements and selling and buying and stuff in between episodes, and when I bring you back, I'll show you how our build is going. We'll have bought a new tray of inspirations, and we'll be ready for the Penelope story arc. Until next time, I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the Rebirth server, Iron Man mode.